Well, the 27th of February, to those who are not in the know, is Pokemon Day.
No, I didn't
So
know that.
every single year, the
What? I
Pokemon
get to
come.
poke a man?
Anyway, the Pokemon Company decides to put a direct on. It's usually about 10 to 15
Oh.
minutes every year. And
That's all I need.
makes me feel very old that it's been 29 years since the first game came out in Japan.
29 years.
29 years. Ugh. Anyway, so this direct itself was around about 19 minutes, and they had several things to show off. So we'll go from the very top. There are new episodes of Pokemon Concierge coming to Netflix in September of 2025.
Know what that is. I don't know
Pokemon
what that is.
Concierge is set on an Alolan resort, and it's all in stop motion animation. The if you
Okay.
if you are interested in it, the first 4 episodes of season 1 are currently available for free on the YouTube channel until the 9th of March.
I'd have to do that just to see.
Yes, it's on Netflix anyway, so
Oh, I have
yeah,
Netflix.
well,
Okay.
there you go. So they gave a little teaser about what's due to come and some of the animation style. It looks kind of cool, but probably not my kind of thing. Might give it a watch because it's on Netflix. So Pokemon Sleep is getting a new update coming soon with Cresselia and Darkrai, so allowing you to banish the nightmare. Not sure when it's due to be launched. It just says coming soon. Pokemon Cafe Remix will include some new items and outfits, and Pokemon Masters EX is celebrating its 5.5 year anniversary. Pokemon Unite, which was the MOBA game, will receive Sukunin, Alolan Raichu, and Alcremie as playable characters this year on March the 1st, April, and soon retrospectively. The remote stadium will also return to ranked matches, while the map will also be updated with new wild Pokemon. They also included an update for Pokemon Go Unova Tour, which is supposed to be was running over the weekend of, well, this current weekend, so March the 1st and March the 2nd. So yeah, we might have missed it already. There's a new booster pack that's now available for Pokemon trading card game Pocket, which is called Triumphant Light and is headlined by Arceus EX. So it came out on the 28th of February, so you can now start picking cards from that, and that's probably the most that I've played this week because I keep playing it just to open cards. It's card packs. It's fine. It's not a problem. So they did also tease that ranked matches are coming at the end of March for those into the competitive battle scene. And I believe it also says that Mega Evolutions are coming in 2025 with Mega Lucario EX and Mega Gardevoir EX cards shown. That might actually, yeah, I think that is included on there. They showed off a brand new game, but I'll probably get to that in a bit.
Okay.
Well, these were the two biggest announcements probably from the entirety of the show. Let me see if I can work this. Give me a second.
Okay. Fading fast.
I know. So let me go back to here. Sorry, got to do some tinkering around. Because I don't know if you can see my screen.
Show can.
Right, because video is unavailable. Of course it is. So let me know if you can see this properly. Because this is the announcement trailer for something called Pokemon Champions.
Ooh, okay.
So I don't know if you have to hear it at all, but hey, let's not worry about that, shall we? God's sake. There we go. Right. So I don't know if you need to hear it. It's fine. It's not a problem. So Let me know if you do, though. Sorry?
I said those are Game Boys, and they're also playing Game Boys.
Yeah. So there'll be a theme that you'll notice across the entirety of this trailer. They're playing on nostalgia quite heavily on this one. So I'm going to stop this here because people started suspecting whilst this was happening live that this might have been the announcement there that several older games were being resold.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyway. So this is the mobile phone is apparent because actually this got announced for Switch and iOS. So I'll get to it in a minute properly. I'm just aware that I don't want to get copyright strikes for this. Okay, so yeah, Pokemon Champions.
I like that. That's cool.
Basically, the whole point of this is that it's solely dedicated towards the battling systems that have been involved. So, the online battles across either iOS, Android, and Nintendo Switch. So yeah, bait and switch really. It's like, let's play on nostalgia and give you a battle game, basically.
Yeah.
Fine, no problems, I guess.
Yeah.
Right, give me a sec. So I'm going to stop streaming for again because we'll come back to that in a moment. So there we go. Right, so yeah, that was one of the big announcements that was there, or say big announcements. That was probably the one that most people didn't know about, which was, it's not too bad. So let's read what it says about Pokemon Champions. It says, now in development for Switch Family Assistance plus iOS and Android. It's a new game based solely on the Pokemon battles with the aim of bringing them to a global audience to be enjoyed by everyone. Not much was shown, but the battle focus sounds similar to the old Pokemon Stadium games, which is why there was a heavy reliance on the battles within the trailer. So it will connect with Pokemon Home too, so you can use your caught Pokemon from the likes of Pokemon Go, Scarlet and Violet. It's being developed by the subsidiary of the Pokemon Works with Game Freak overseeing the game. So, just going to load this up because this was the final game that was shown. And I'm just going to go back to doing this again. Christ. There we go. Right. We all knew about this game anyway, so they're showing more about it. This is Pokemon Legends ZA. So they announced this last year, I believe. So this is the continuation of the Legends series that started with Legends Arceus a couple of years ago. So, right, let's watch the trailer. And yeah, for full disparity, I am going to, quote, stop it and start it so that we don't get flagged. So.
Pokemon Legends ZA is a new title in the Pokemon series. The story takes place in Lumiose City, the largest city in the Kalos region. Prism Tower stands tall at the center of this city of beautiful vistas. These days,
I can't remember what generation Lumiose City was, so if anyone wants to let me know, please let me know. I believe it was... Christ. Was it Diamond and Ruby? Don't know. Can't remember. Anyway, yeah, so apparently what they're doing is they're going for a very urban redevelopment plan, which is part of the story of this. So it's not going to be quite the same as the previous Legend game, where it was set many years previous to the Pokemon League and all that, but let's get into it.
Lumiose is undergoing a high-tech urban redevelopment plan to turn it into a city that people and Pokemon truly share. After you arrive in Lumiose City to see the sights, you'll meet 3 Pokemon, one of which will become your first partner: Chikorita, Tepig, and Totodile.
So yeah, those are your starters. They're all previous Pokemon from previous generations.
You'll choose one of these Pokemon to accompany you on a new journey as you get to know Lumiose City and its inhabitants. Here are some of the colorful characters you'll encounter. When you arrive in Lumiose, you'll meet a new friend.
Pink hair.
Of course you'd pick that out of everything.
and ally, either Urbane or Tawny. The hotel where you'll be staying is run by AZ. You'll also meet his partner, Floette. Lumiose's redevelopment is being managed by Quasartico Inc. You'll become acquainted with the company's CEO Jet and her secretary Vinny.
The Pokemon games are not very realistic, are they? Because you'd never meet a CEO of a company ever.
Terrifying, also, but also that dude's partner is a flower Pokemon.
Yeah, it is.
The different people you meet will make your time in Lumiose all the richer. To help people and Pokemon coexist, the city has set up wild zones. These areas, located throughout Lumiose, give wild Pokemon habitats where they can thrive.
So a very similar system to what they introduced in Sword and Shield, where you had the wild areas, let's say, outside of the cities. But this one's actually going to be in city limits. But yeah.
To catch one of these wild Pokemon, aim carefully, then throw a Pokeball.
And yeah, the battling, I say the battle system, but the catching system is exactly the same as it was in Legends Arceus, where you can choose to battle, but to start off and actually get Pokemon, you're just going to have to try and catch them.
If you're having a hard time catching one, have one of your Pokemon use its moves to weaken the target, making it easier to catch. This game offers a style of Pokemon battling not seen in previous titles. Moves can have a longer or shorter reach, or different areas of effect. So choose your timing and positioning carefully to gain the upper hand. Lead your partner Pokemon through battles and dodge incoming attacks. Swap Pokemon if you need to and find the right moment to unleash a move. What's more, certain Pokemon can go beyond evolution by undergoing Mega Evolution. When a trainer's Keystone resonates with the Mega Stone held by their Pokemon, the Pokemon will do more than just change shape.
I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan these days, but I have found that a lot of these games recently have just relied so heavily on Mega Evolution as a thing, or a variation of Mega Evolution. What?
I said right. I don't know what any of that is.
No.
It'll
Anyway.
unlock a new level of power, turning the tide of battle in its favor. As Lumiose continues its transformation into a city that belongs to both people and Pokemon, who knows what kinds of encounters and experiences will await you. Pokemon Legends ZA, coming late 2025.
Yeah, so they never confirmed whether or not it's a Switch 2 release, they just confirmed Switch. Probably comes later on in the game. But anyway, there's one final part to this trailer.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Probably an announcement of the Pokemon League, so there'll be some sort of Pokemon League within it, because I think people were annoyed about that in Arceus, that there wasn't a Pokemon League. So yeah, so that's Legends ZA. So yeah, based on that, what did you think?
I mean, obviously, I am not the demographic for this. I don't do Pokemon. Pokemon go to the polls. I enjoyed, I think the visuals look really good. But unfortunately, I don't have enough knowledge about Pokemon to know if these are good or not. Like, I like them. I think they look great. But I also don't have any background on any.
Okay, I'll read this as from Eurogamer. It says the big announcement that we've all been waiting for was coming at the end of the presentation with the first look at Pokemon Legends ZA gameplay. Set in the Kalos region, it continues the action RPG style from Legends Arceus, now in an urban setting. So yeah, we've gone through all of this as well. So this has caused a bit of a stir online, let's say, from two different sides of the equation. Right. Let's just say the Pokemon apologists, who will defend Game Freak like anyone's business and say this looks amazing regardless of what it is. And then you've got all the people who actually have eyes, who said that the game looks like complete and utter crap in terms of its graphical style, because once again they are repurposing the same graphic style that they've had across 4 games, made no updates to it, and will probably run like complete dog crap as well, like Scarlet and Violet did. By the way, Game Freak, when was that performance patch? Have you ever released the performance patch? No, you didn't. So people are really quite annoyed by this, that a multi-billion-dollar company in Game Freak just have no inclination to want to change anything at all, and are just happy to shovel crap. And I have to tend to agree with them. I kept watching this and I thought, I don't give two flying fecks about this, because it's another game where I'm like, ugh, I'm not even going to be bothered to be tempted in by it, because I did when it came to Sun and Moon. Thought it was a decent game. Sword and Shield, pretty bang average game. Scarlet and Violet, pretty bang average game. Pokemon Legends Arceus, whilst a different take on it, ran like complete crap. So, sorry Game Freak, not falling for it anymore. And this is coming from someone who used to love Pokemon as a kid. Don't care now.
Yeah.
Until they finally decide to go, let's actually do something different. Let's actually invest some money in it. Let's, I'm just not gonna give them my money, because I just don't feel like they really care about them, about the actual player base at all. It just feels like another instance where they're like, you get what you're given and just deal with it.
Right.
Like, I think far too many people out there are willing to accept crap, and I'm not willing to accept crap.
Yeah.
And Pokemon Company and Game Freak are very well known for putting that out. So, yeah, I couldn't care less whether people agree with my opinion or not. I don't care.
Yeah.
I watched this entire presentation and thought, nah, not interested in any of this at all. I didn't even think Pokemon Champions looked that interesting. It's a game that's, quote, currently in development. We have no idea of a release date. It's a pre-rendered freaking trailer again with no actual gameplay. And once again, there are games out there that look better from many years ago. People were noticing on the Legends trailer that a lot of the models are very low poly. The grass, everything are all awful. So they're just reusing assets constantly, and they're just pushing out stuff at a quick turn rate.
Hate that personally.
Yeah, if this was any other company, people wouldn't accept it, but because it's Pokemon, it's different, and I don't agree with it at all.
Yeah.
They have to, like, as a lapsed Pokemon fan now, and had been for quite a few years, they did enough to try and get me back, but they're not. They're just not doing anything to try and keep me interested in the Pokemon series.
I think there's a lot of that going on with a lot of series. And,
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Hopefully that will be turning around soon, since the bottom line, their sales are starting to be affected.
They're not, though. That's the problem. Things like Scarlet and Violet go on and sell really good amounts of units because it's just the Pokemon name.
Yeah.
Like, until people actually turn around and say, and I know it don't work, we're going to boycott this series. There was a boycott of it, but people just didn't listen to it until it actually hits the mainstream audience who don't go and listen to podcasts and don't go and notice this kind of thing, who are just like, oh, Pokemon. Yeah. Until that demographic then goes, oh, well, I'm not actually going to go and play this, and their sales go below 10 million, they might actually think a bit differently then. But then they'll turn around and probably say, well, this is a change in the formula. This isn't the normal generation Pokemon game, so we can try and do something different and get away with it.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to say they tried that with Arceus and it didn't work on me. I bought it, played it for a couple of hours and got rid of it because I just didn't enjoy the game.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it ran like complete dog crap too. So, yeah, so that was the Pokemon Presents. Pretty poor presentation in my opinion. I know some people were quite interested in it and quite happy with it. Obviously, you're going to get people like GVG or Good Vibes Gaming who are absolutely raving about it, but I don't agree with them. I think it was an absolute piss poor showing, once again, from Pokemon. Like, you're sitting on a gold mine and yet you refuse to resell your old games or put them on the NSO service. Why? Like, just put Red and Blue. Like, you're 29 years. You could have just turned around and gone, yeah, we're putting those onto NSO. Yeah. Why didn't they?
Yeah.
So stupid, honestly. But yeah, that's the end of the news this week. Sour note to end with, I'm afraid, but hey, on my end.